Yo, what's going on YouTube? This is your boy D Wayne bringing you yet another YouTube video at this time. So basically what I'm going to be doing with you guys today is bringing you my updated Shiranui deck profile. This is obviously post the Dark Illusions, of course. So yeah, you guys already know Shiranui Sage is here. I know you guys excited for him. I know I am excited for him. So yeah, so without further ado, let's just get straight into the deck profile. Alrighty guys, first we're going to start off with the monsters, of course. First we have Big Boy himself, Shiranui Solitaire. I hate that name. I'm going to call him Shiranui Sage throughout this video. That's the way his name is going to be. I don't know why they changed his name to that, but unfortunately they changed his name to that. So so Shiranui Sage is the new card that came out of the Dark Illusions for Shiranuis, of course. So basically, just going briefly what he does, because I've already talked about him so many times, but quick explanation, he basically tributes himself to special summon a zombie type tuner with 0 defense from the deck. And also he can, when he's banished, he can special summon one other Shiranui from the banished pile, and if you happen to control the reincarnation formation, you can special summon up to 2 monsters instead. Quick combo, he can obviously serve as a 1 card level 8 synchro. He could basically summon himself, tribute himself, special summon a Unizombie. Unizombie effect activates to dump a Mizuki. Mizuki banishes itself to special summon Sage. And then you sync the Unizombie and Sage to make a level 8 synchro. So this card is actually really, really good. I'm glad to see this card actually in real life. So yeah, really good. Now we have 3 Spirit Masters. Now this card has actually gotten a whole lot better now that Sage is here, because it essentially tutor the Sage from the hand or the graveyard to set up a 2-card level 8 synchro combo without using Mizuki to banish for it. So this has gotten a whole lot better because of Sage. So yeah, so basically his banish effect is when he's banished, you can pop a face-up card your opponent controls. Other than that, he's really good and can set up for a lot of combos. 2 Spectral Swords, of course. This card is essentially a 1-card synchro in the grave. So basically, when it's in the grave along with another, non-tuner monster, you can special summon a zombie type monster from your extra deck using those 2 monsters as synchro material. And of course, they banish them. So whatever Shiranui you happen to be banishing with this, that monster will get their effect. So it could be, you could banish this with Sage to special summon something. You banish this with a Spirit Master to pop something. Or you could banish something with Bushi to get a Shiranui monster back to your hand. Alright, so this card has a lot of good uses. Really good. Next we have Shiranui Samurai, of course. The beater of the deck, 18 hitter. So basically, during either player's turn, you can banish a Shiranui monster to have this card gain 600 attack. And when it battles a monster, after the damage calculation, banish the monster that this card battles with, so it can trigger all the other Shiranui effects during either player's turn. So this card is, a lot of people tend to be afraid to attack this card to avoid triggering its effect and losing their monsters in the process. So that's why I think this card is really good. The Runsmith, of course, you don't need to really see him in any really higher number than 1, because once you have him in circulation through Mizuki's effect, of course, you can get pluses every time. So every time you synchro with him, you get a search for a Shiranui card. And when it's banished, you can protect your monsters from battle. Alright? Alright, that's it for the Shiranuis. Now the generic support. 3 Mizukis, of course. Probably the best card in the deck, of course. When it's in the graveyard, you can banish it. Especially summon a zombie type monster from your graveyard. Doesn't matter what level. And this card can be used more than once per turn. So this card is really amazing. I run 2 Necroface. Now this is something new to the deck, of course, besides the Sage. I run the Necroface because this is actually a super banish build. Because you already know when Necroface is banished, you can banish. You and your opponent must banish the top 5 cards of your deck. So this will essentially help trigger the Shiranui's effects to generate advantage to their effects. So, and when this card is normal summon, you can put the banished monsters back into the deck, and this card gains 100 for each put back by its effect. So this card is really good and really abusable in this deck, yo. Oh. This card crushes Blue Eyes, because if you manage to banish all 3 of their Blue Eyes through this effect, they can't play no more. 3 unit zombies, of course. The best tuner in the deck, of course, because you can essentially use this effect twice in the same turn. First effect would allow you to ditch from hand to increase his level. And the second effect will allow you to ditch from deck to grave to raise level as well. But if you use that effect, only zombies can attack for that turn. So that's an unfortunate drawback, but I guess that's kind of quote unquote balances out the card. So yeah, other than that, it's really good. It can be summoned through Sage's effect, of course. Really good card, of course. And then the one Beast of the Pharaoh, of course. You guys already know how I feel about this card. This card is so amazing to continue your synchro plays. Oh my god. Because this is not a once per turn effect that special summons itself when it's used as a synchro material. So it can summon itself as many times as you have space for, and doing your synchro plays, because especially when you're going off, doing multiple synchros in a turn, which is definitely possible. I damn sure do it all the time. So this card is really amazing card, yo. Alright, so that is it for the monsters. We're going to go into the traps. We got Staples, Bottomless, and Compulse, of course. 2 Deep Prisons. You guys already know I run Deep Prison in just about any deck. Doesn't matter where it goes, and especially good in this deck because it banishes cards, because I run Chaos Zone in here as well, so they give me extra counters to banish. When you banish your opponent's monsters, they can give Chaos Zone a counter as well. So yes, definitely has good synergy with the deck. And of course, I run 3 of the trap card. Of course, I will never bring this down to anything lower than 3. You guys already know. Tribute to Shiranui, or tribute to zombie type monster. Pop 2 cards and then banish 1 Shiranui monster from your deck. So yeah, so this is Icarus / Fire Lake for zombies. Really good card. Definitely will be a super staple. Even in decks that don't really play Shiranuis that much, they play it as well. Alright, so this card's really good. Alright, that's it for the traps. Let's go for the spells. I run 2 Soul Release for the extra banishing troll factor. Like if you want to, it essentially banishes 5 monsters? Oh. Target up to 5 cards in the opponent's graveyard, banish them. So it doesn't matter. You can banish the spells and traps that are also activated in graveyard. You can banish those so they don't get that. You can banish the monsters that obviously activate in graveyard. In the case of Blue Eyes, once again, you can banish their Blue Eyes or whatever it is that they have that you don't want in there. You can banish those and they can't really play. So yeah, so this card is very practical for this deck as it's super revolve around banishing. This card is really good. I run 2 hand instructions, of course. This will allow you to dig through your deck while getting cards you don't need in your hand to the graveyard. Like if you want a Spectral Sword and a Sage, put those in the graveyard to set up for a single play on your next turn. You can do that. Or put any other, you can put Mizuki or any combination of zombies you need in the graveyard. You can put those in the graveyard and draw 2 more cards and set up 4 more plays. Alright, so this card's really good. Now we run 3 Chaos Zone. Now this is the big card of the deck, along with the 2 Terraformings to search it out. Now, what Chaos Zone does is, each time a monster is banished, you can place a Chaos counter on this card. You can remove counters, 4 more counters, to special summon a monster from your banish pile. And when it's destroyed, I believe you can search a light or dark monster equal to the number of Chaos counters that were on this card when it was destroyed. but I mainly use it to basically generate the counters so that I can special summon from the banished power and continue my plays. So basically what this does for the deck is it allows for extra setup to, it basically continues your plays. It acts as a beast of the Pharaoh, but for the banished pile, so that you can special summon from the banished and continue your plays from there. So this card is really good, especially in conjunction with Necroface, which will allow you to get even more counters on this card. So this is a really good card for the deck. We run to 1 Foolish, 1 Buried from a Different Dimension, and 1 Gold Sark as our 1-Ls, of course. All are really necessary for the deck. The Foolish obviously gets you your Mizukis, or you want to put a Spectral Sword in the graveyard, that's fine. The Beast of the Bearer from a Different Dimension allows you to put your banished stuff back so that you can continue your plays, of course. Imagine having 3 Mizukis and putting them back with this, so that you have 3 more special summons that you could make, which is really good. And the 1 Gold Sark to allow you to you can basically banish all the Shiranuis that allow you to get effects. You can banish the Chief Priest or Spirit Master to get a pop, banish the Sage, special summon, banish the Bushi to get something back, or you can banish the Necroface to have how you and your opponent banish 5 cards from the top of your deck. So this card can get you into a lot of plays very quickly, so it's really good. Alright, last but not least, we have the Twin Twisters, of course. Definitely necessary with the amount of back row heavy decks, Carter Demise decks, and all that other good stuff. So it's always good to get rid of the back row so that you don't have to worry about them, so that you can continue your plays unhindered. Alright, so that is that. That is the main deck. We're going to do the extra deck now. 2 Samurai Shiranui Shogun Saga. Now this card is really key, because essentially when this card is special summoned, you can banish a zombie type monster from your graveyard, and this card gains attack equal to that zombie monster's attack until the end phase of the turn, which means it can trigger all your Shiranui effects, and it can also banish the Necroface so that you can do your banishing thing from there. And also when this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can put one of your zombie type monsters with 0 defense back into the graveyard. So, and this card is 3,000. Of course, you guys already know this card is really good. Unfortunately, you can only special summon these once per turn. I don't know why they have that clause in there, but they have it in there. Oh well. To Shiranui Samurai Saga. Basically what he does is you can put back a zombie type monster from your banished zone to the deck, but the attack has to be equal to or less than, I believe, the monsters your opponent has, and it switches them to defense mode. Also, when this card is banished, you can target one of your opponent's monsters and they lose 500 attack. Honestly, I've already come up with a bit of an upgrade to that effect. Basically, what I think it should be doing is, when it's banished, you could actually shuffle up to 2 monsters back into the deck instead of 1. Instead of decreasing by 500, which makes the card really bad in retrospect. If it had a better effect like the one I just mentioned, it'd actually be a much better card. So yeah, that's that. The 1 Archfiend Zombie Skull, special summonable off of Spectral Sword's effect, of course. It essentially protects your monsters from card effects, so, no Mirror Forces, no Flaming Mirror Forces, Torrential Tribute, Raigeki, Dark Hole, or anything like that destroys. This card will protect you from. So it's a really good card to basically set up for OTK plays to protect your monsters from being destroyed by anything. So the 1 Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, of course, protects your level 5 or higher monsters from being targeted by monster effects. And if a level 5 or higher monster activates their effect, he can negate it and destroy it. And whichever effect he uses to negate, that monster gains that monster's attack to his attack until the end phase of the turn. So this card is really good to also protect your monsters. The one Hyper Librarian. This is summonable off of Spectral and Beast of the Pharaoh. So essentially, when you begin to go off with your synchro summoning with the Beast of the Pharaoh, this is one of the cards you definitely want to have on the field so that you can gain advantage off your synchro plays. So yeah, this card is really good. The one Black Rose is Black Rose, Pendulum Fields. Fields with multiple back rows, 2 or 3 or more, you get the Black Rose and everything goes bye-bye. So you guys already know. The one Revive King Hades, also summonable off of Spectral Sword's effect. When zombie type monsters destroy monsters by battle, they can't activate their effects. Really good. One Castell, of course, random removal, 2 level 4s, you guys already know. The one Scarlet Red Dragon Archfiend. Basically, it destroys special summoned monsters on the field and inflicts 500 points of damage to your opponent for each special summoned monster destroyed by this effect. This is really good if you want to go for game. I've done this before where I've attacked and the opponent was left with 1,000, and I had 2 other special summoned monsters, just blew them up and got game from that. So this card could essentially be a win condition in and of itself. So this card is really good. 2 Omegas, of course. The card is like really one of the best cards in the deck. I believe it's like $30 to $40 right now. It's still a rather expensive card. Yeah, this card is really good for, you know, managing your resources from, you know, during your opponent's turn. When during the standby phase of your opponent's turn, you can put a banished monster back into your graveyard so that you can reuse their effects. So most notably, the card you would put back with this mostly would be Mizuki, so that you can start snowballing your effects from there. So this card is really good, and also you can hand loop with this to banish a card from your opponent's hand. Along with this, and with Chaos Zone, if you're banishing another monster, that's going to give you 2 counters. So you can keep looping this and generating counters for every turn. So this card is really good and has a lot of practical implications. And last but not least, we have Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon. Now we have a little 1-card combo for setting up Crystal Wing really fast. Where are you at? I'm going to show you this combo real quick. Spectral and Sage could essentially get you a Crystal Wing. So, Sage and Crystal Wing in the graveyard. You're going to banish them both. Special summon a level 6 monster. Solitaire's effect is going to activate, special summoning the Spectral from the graveyard, or rather from the banished pile. So then you're going to synchro the Spectral with the skull to summon your Crystal Wing. And this is all done without using a normal summon. You just need a Spectral and a Sage in the graveyard. So I think this is actually a better combo to summon Crystal Wing than the Blue Eyes combo, where you use the Sage and the Mausoleum of White to summon it right out. This requires only 2 cards in the grave in order to activate and summon this card to the field. So I think it's a lot more practical combo to get the Crystal Wing out. Alrighty, so that is the deck. I hope you guys enjoyed. So yeah, guys, once again, I hope you guys enjoyed. Solitaire is here. I'm definitely looking forward to playing this in real life to see how I do with it. Alrighty, guys, so I will leave that at that. So I'll be bringing you guys more videos in the meantime, but until then, peace, YouTube.